of Granby Conservation Meeting, July 24th, 2018, 6:30 PM. We are starting at 6:38. Mr. Bill Shaheen and myself, Edward Chapdelaine, Granby Conservation Commission. We do not have a quorum at this point. We can look at the building permits right now. We have an applicant. Could you please come forward with the sign-in sheet? Thank you. I don't want Bernatchez. Okay. Sorry if I butchered that. 57 Cold Hill Road, correct?
Yes.
And you're putting in a swimming pool?
Yes.
Sure. Do you want to just quickly explain, or just your project?
We,
Above ground.
Above ground,
Okay.
24 foot
Okay.
by 4 foot.
Okay,
I got measurements off of each boundary, 16 feet, going next to the deck on the side.
Okay. I don't see an issue, Bill. I pulled it up on the
yeah, let me,
satellite.
yeah, let me just check my bit here.
You're placing it on grass, existing grass.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem.
So,
Why is that not fast? Let's go.
sometimes it doesn't refresh on that screen. Yeah.
Let's try it again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're at, where are we?
157 Cold, no, 57. 57 Cold Hill, I'm sorry.
Okay, I know where it is.
Didn't take you to the spot.
Yeah, I'm just doing my navigating. So here it is, right here. Get me way back here. Okay. Oh, Norman Ave is right behind your house?
Correct.
Okay, and you're 57?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay.
Want to make
very
a
good.
motion?
Yeah, I move we approve it.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
That's fine.
It's 24 foot
You want to
diameter.
volunteer?
24 by 4.
You want, we can always need commissioners.
Okay.
Above ground, 24 foot diameter. There you go, thank you.
Very good. Good
luck.
luck. All the
You guys have a good
best.
day.
You too.
Too,
Thank you.
thanks. Okay, we don't have a quorum, so I don't know if you want to just do administrative duties, or you want to just wait. We should probably just wait.
Oh, wait a couple of minutes.
6:48, the Town of Granby Conservation, we have a quorum, Amanda Smith, 6:48. Going on to our administrative duties, 6:50, commentary. No commentary at this point? No. Moving on, let's post the next meeting for August 14th, 2018. Do you want to change it to 6:45?
Well, maybe to 7 o'clock for Amanda.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
go back
I
to
left
7.
at 4:30.
Yeah, let's go back to, let's go to
Yeah,
7.
don't rush it. Okay.
Let's go to 7.
Is
Let's go to
that,
7.
even leaving at 4:30, I have
Yeah,
second
that's
traffic
fine.
for 2
Yeah,
hours?
yeah, let's go to
That's fine.
7.
Let's,
go to
give me a post-it note over there, and we'll tell Kathy to post it for 7.
7. All right, at 7 PM. Okay. Fine. The
Thanks.
minute sets, I sent you guys minutes electronically. Did you get the chance to look at it?
I did not look at it.
Did you? Nobody printed them out, though.
No, I didn't really have time to do any of that.
Okay, all right, we'll defer those. Let me just put down postpone. Until next meeting.
14th, I've got to check my schedule. I might not be around that time. I've got to get ready to, college bound for the kids, so
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
So we'll post. Did you want to go through your minutes or,
Well, there's not much to go through.
no, we haven't had much on discussion,
Yeah.
so you want to just look on the screen real quick?
Yeah, I'll pull them up. Let me just grab them.
I don't know if you want to scoot around, Amanda, just take a look on the screen.
I'll just pull them up.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
you
that's
can pull
fine.
them up. You can pull them up. I'll pull them up here, too. Okay, view all. All right, this is the 7:10 minutes. All right, this is what I had for 7:10.
We didn't have a quorum that day either, I'm guessing.
No, we had, Wenda was there.
Window, okay.
Approved and signed 2 above-ground swimming pool permits, 1 shed permit. I think that's correct. Bills to pay, MACC annual membership. All in favor. Letter from treasurer regarding the Nexamp solar project on
That's on today's
Dickinson's, yeah. Continued on-site review services may be necessary. So that's what we talked about. We continued Mike Pio's NOI, DCR Forge Pond, they didn't show up. Kestrel's Trust, no discussions. Children's First, no discussion, no discussion. Phillips Circle, we had a site visit Saturday the 14th at 9, which we went to. And no discussion on the roundabout. This format, it's because I did that's because I did a quick view. Forge Pond Dam repairs, decommissioning discussion, approximately 7 residents present. Dory Gollin of Forge Pond neighborhood asks about rumors concerning permanently draining the pond and restoring the system to a riverine environment. I opine significant funds in the order of $1 million may be needed to comply with the DCR dam safety requirements. Funds would need to be appropriated at Granby Town Meeting. Another option is to decommission dam with aid of mass grants. Understand Forge Pond is earmarked as high priority dam by the state for decommissioning and hence may be high on the list for funding. I advise Dory Gollin to work with Amanda Smith of the Conscom to seek other state funds to cover the cost of engineering and repair to the dam as an alternative solution. Adjourned 6:50.
Yeah, I don't see anything different.
So that's that.
Can you hook up the printer on that, or no?
Yeah. Then I got one more, Ed. Let's see, hold on. Okay, this is June 26th, for what it's worth. I don't think much happened there. It was just you and I, Ed. We adjourned the meeting at 6:50. We signed 2 above-ground swimming permits and a shed.
That was it.
And I think,
Thank you, man.
that was it. Yeah, there's nothing going on there. Okay. Yeah, Amanda, could you see? Is this?
You want me-
US.
Yeah, you can do it. I don't have to, I don't think I have to drive it for this. Is this?
Traffic's like 1 minute first.
We looking for, Bill?
On, off, what?
It's on, I think.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, automatically turns on.
Okay.
Pretty sure, or it'll kick on once you cue it.
Yeah, it went on.
It
I
is?
saw it.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the lights go on a second ago.
Oh, I see, it's lit up. Yep, okay, good.
Did we find out who's gonna pay to maintain the, compliance, like getting it inspected every 6 months like we need to do?
We have not talked about it, but we were using,
Oh, that's weird.
who was a gentleman there that we were using from Chicopee? For the bridge phase 1 study? I mean, bridge.
The,
The dam?
Dam.
Oh, Dave Leonard.
Dave Leonard.
Chicopee.
That's
We're
where.
not Chicopee.
No, but are we, because we aren't actually supposed to pay that. We're not like allowed to use our funds to pay for that. Based on.
Well, we've been
what Mark
pushed.
Simpson says. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, Mark told me the same thing 3 years ago. And Chris Martin's, that the dam inspection fee should not come out of our fees budget. It should come out of
And
the
it
town's
has.
budget, I know.
It has to come out of
And
whose
remember,
budget?
remember we went to the finance committee
They denied it.
and they denied it, yes.
Yeah.
Do you have information regarding the process from the state? Because the state's telling us the DEP is telling us we can't use our funds for that inspection.
I only have my email from Mark Stinson and Arlen.
Forward that to me, we'll forward it to the
I
selectmen.
think it went to all of us, but I could be wrong. I thought, Wenda had sent it out.
That's fine, I mean, just send it back and we'll forward it to the selectmen and Chris Martin and just tell them that it's their responsibility to take it out of a budget in either Parks and Recs or general funds or wherever they take it from, but if Mark Stinson from DEP is telling us that we can't use our budget or our funds, then so be it. And is that the same issue with Dufresne's Park, that dam inspection?
I would say yes,
So it's across the board.
yes.
Sounds good.
Okay. Do we have that in email? So someone sent an email out to them?
I'm looking for it. and
Okay.
I haven't found it yet.
Okay.
Also, I did go to that dam, or the forestry thing. We can talk about that later.
Sure.
It came up in my thing
Oh,
when I was
okay.
looking at Mark Stinson, so
Oh,
I
okay.
reminded me.
Oh, good, okay. All right, I'm gonna put this down. We approved both. It's both approved. Good. About fishing derby, did
I
we,
saw that. I don't see any,
they wanted $100.
Okay, so felon fees account can only be used for administration and enforcement of the act.
Very good.
I'll forward it to you, but it's on in.
Actually,
in
forward
multiple
it
separate things.
forward it to Ed and I, forward it to Christopher Martin and Kathy Leonard as well.
was it the Granby Bow and Gun Club? This was read in last time.
So what other funds do we have? So we have our NOI filing fee.
Right, and then we have the hatch fund, but the hatch fund is only permitted to be used for land acquisition.
Okay.
For bond
I just want
property.
some, so I know what we're
Yeah,
talking
yes,
about.
yeah, so neither of our accounts are legit for paying a consultant for the dam. If it were pursuant to an NOI or an RDA, that's fine, but for dam inspection, that should be out of the town's general budget.
Yeah.
And that makes good sense.
Send that to you now.
Thank you. Did you get Dory Gallman?
I just saw your.
Yeah,
email.
at your leisure, during the week.
Is that one of the landowners? on
Yes,
that
yes, she's
farm?
she's kind of the spokesperson for the Forge Pond Group.
Okay.
And she's actually willing to do some legwork, so if she wants to go up and
It's
meet
today's agenda.
with some of the state reps and senators to try to grab some money for fixing the dam, that would be terrific.
Bill, I do not see anything for the, moving on to item number 4, bills to pay, Boy Scout Troop 306 Fishing Derby. Did they send us an invoice, or are we just giving them a donation?
No, I got a phone call from apparently the troop leader.
Yeah.
And they said historically we'd pay $100 a year.
Okay.
It's kind of after the fact, because they've already had the fishing derby.
Right, that was during charter days?
Yeah, so I move that we pay $100 toward that.
That's towards Derby,
fishing derby,
educational.
Yeah, see, that's something,
conservation.
legit, that's legit. This dam inspection is not legitimate.
Well, it's legit, but it's a town responsibility, not the conservation.
That's what I mean.
So, sure, Bill made a motion to pay $100 for the 306 fishing derby, Boy Scout troop.
Yeah,
Second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and again, that's out of our fee account.
So, make a note, Bill, on the time, or should I just put it here?
Yeah.
Station.
Yeah, put a note for Kathy. Okay.
Want to initial that, Bill?
Okay.
I also have a NSCC training to send up for this week. I don't know if I can put that on. It's
Sure.
tree identification, but
Sure,
it's
sure.
$106. I've already paid
Okay,
it, but
okay, yep, put in for.
Do you have a printout of that?
yeah, I'll put it right now.
Okay.
Just sign this.
Again, for educational purposes for the commission,
Yeah,
so. What was it for?
it's for tree identification. It's a 2-day class.
Tree identification?
Yeah.
Nice. So they must go over wetland
They're gonna
dominant.
focus on New England species,
Okay.
but I'm sure that there are certain species that are more prominent in wetlands, and
Right.
being able to identify that is
You
something
can,
helpful.
you can double check it with the computer, with your little computer app.
Yeah, but it makes it a lot easier, because a lot of times it's hard to tell trees, especially like when it's all bark.
When it's
or, like-
bare,
Oh,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah, so I
yeah,
got
bark,
the bark book,
bark-
but it's easier when
bark's
you're
not
in
a good
class,
method,
and
yeah.
they give you trees, some kind of
yeah,
ways of doing it.
bark is really difficult.
You can identify poison ivy.
Yeah, yeah,
I finally have
after the
that down.
after the fact.
Okay, so I have an invoice here for $106 that has been paid already by Amanda Smith, and it is for the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissions. It's a class for tree identification, which I think would be part of continuing education for the commission. At least we need a commissioner who can identify trees properly. So I make a motion to pay this invoice for $106.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Bill? Gotcha. All right. Post-it note.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry.
Any other bills? No? Financial accounts, I don't see anything here with respect to the financial accounts. Item number 6, letter from treasurer or Nexamp, and we had talked about that at the last meeting. I don't think you were here. Nexamp is that the
Developer.
Morgan Street
Yeah, the
project?
Morgan Street developer, that huge solar farm, 4 megawatt facility,
Okay.
Dickinson's Farm.
Yeah.
And Ty and Bond did the review, we paid their fee, there's several $1,000s still outstanding in the escrow account. And the question is, Nextamp wanted their money back, but as Wenda had mentioned, maybe we want to do site visit or have somebody on our behalf do a site visit during construction. So whatever you guys think.
Well, if that's the case, then we need to issue a letter back to Nexamp saying that the funds will be returned at the end of the project. Did we ask for retainer, or not a retainer, but funds to be deposited for the purpose of inspection, or was it for
Well,
the
that's
purpose?
the thing I don't know. I don't know exactly how it was worded. I don't know. There was $10,000 deposited.
It's something to that
Yeah,
effect.
yeah.
Well,
Did we get a copy of the letter from Nextamp?
yes,
Did you have it? Let's read it.
I believe it's in here.
Have we already approved that project?
Yes.
We have approved
Yes,
it with
yes.
the,
Order of
NOI.
conditions.
Yeah.
that's why I was wondering about the order conditions.
Yeah.
Well, in the order of conditions, we typically have inspection rights anyways during the process, so.
Yeah.
I've got a letter dated here, June 12th, 2018, from Steve to Kathy Leonard. It is forwarded, Granby Solar Consultant Deposit, Nexamp, W9, 2016, tie and bond, Granby Solar Fee. This request must be processed by the Conservation Commission through the warrant process. There seems to be a variance in the amounts for the consultant. The proposal indicates a total of $5,300, where the amounts paid were $3,462.71, a difference of $1,837.29. Is the outstanding invoice, is there an outstanding invoice for this balance? So Mr. Nally is asking us if there's an outstanding balance. I don't think there is, from tie and bond. So, I guess I should have read this part first. It goes, hello, this is from Julie Boschman from Nexamp. It's, hello, Stephen, I hope this finds you well. We are looking for a refund of the $5,300, which is the leftover amount
right.
of the, from our $10,000 deposit for the Granby third-party reviewer hired by the Conservation Commission. Our $10,000 deposit was cashed by the town of Granby on November 30th, 2017. I've attached proof of consultant fee amount as well as our company's W-9. This check should be directed to Nexamp for
I
Liberty
think
Square.
I think the fee was pursuant to the review for the NOI. I don't think there was any site visits tied into that.
I don't think so. I think you're correct. And that's the problem. I don't think we can ask to keep the money
That's correct. That's right.
if we need to have a peer review monitor the construction, or if we go out on site and we see something that's not
Then we'd
appropriate.
have to get another
We have to get a peer
escrow.
review.
We'd get another escrow amount.
So,
Could we just tell them that they need an extending amount, but we are going to retain it until the end of the project to ensure that it's
I don't know if we,
completely settled out?
I don't think we asked for that.
I don't think we can do that.
Okay.
But I think if there is a problem, we can ask them once again to deposit another chunk
Sure,
of money.
I think that you can do that.
Yeah.
Either the
Yeah.
building inspector will shut them down if there's something inappropriate that we
Yeah.
see,
Okay.
and then we can ask for a peer review at that point to see if their construction methods are acceptable, or if they need to do something at that point.
All right, so I move then that we permit Mr. Nally to refund the balance of the amount to Nexamp at this time. Namely, $5,300 plus or minus.
Yeah, 5,300 was paid out, so whatever the balance, that would be
Oh, $4,700. Okay,
$4,700.
$4,700, okay.
Second?
Do we know that amount is being correct, or let Mr. Nally calculate the, because we're being told it's a $5,300, total sum of $5,300 was paid
Yeah.
out to tie and bond,
Yeah, that seems,
Which would have written-
that seems right.
which leaves a balance,
What is this? Something else.
something else. All right, so there's a motion on the table to refund or return excess monies to Nexamp from their initial $10,000 deposit, so was that the motion?
So, yes, so we're
And it is
moving
second.
we're
Okay.
moving to refund the balance, yes.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay. Move to refund balance of the unused balance. All in favor? Okay, that takes care of that.
If you want to initial that.
Okay.
It's in the minutes, I'll take that back.
Yeah, whoops. Okay.
Today's the 24th, correct? (7-11), let's continue on with the administrative duties. Outreach and education plan for the week.
Actually, I had a plan to the week. Amanda, you might know what it is. Very tall, stringy upland plant, very uniform plumage, if you will. Looks like ragweed, but it has these yellow flowers on the top, and they're just starting to open up. Do you know what that is? I was going to bring that plant. Hummingbirds like it. And I did see some purple loosestrife in town. You don't see much of it around here, but there is some, yeah.
There's a lot of
All up back eastern Mass. Oh, really?
No,
Children's First? Oh, there is
it's
it.
all in the-
Oh, boy.
it's
I didn't realize that
And we
it's,
hadn't, I don't think
found its way around here.
mentioned that one by name.
wow. Wow. They should try to pull that out.
Yeah, hopefully they'll include it in their
Yeah,
invasive form.
yeah. Good luck.
They're supposed to be restoring the natural,
Yes,
not plant life.
right. Okay, ZBA notices, Ed, do you have anything?
Yep, I'm looking right now. Just a heads up on, we gotta have either Kathy come in here and get this stuff back to some kind of organization. I've got stuff here that's been read into the records in the past.
What's in that envelope
That's
there?
Granby Bow and Gun Club.
Oh,
I read that into the records.
it should be filed in the filing
Right.
drawer.
And I have another letter here, April 10th, from Meredith Bornstein regarding the Granby Bow and Gun Club again. This has all been read in before. It's the
Yeah.
NOI, some photos. That
Well,
should
again,
be
the
filed.
problem is we don't have a key, so Amanda can't stay late and do filing for us.
Understood.
That's the problem. It's the perils of not having keys.
I've got let me just go through this stuff real quick. We can file it. We got an email here dated June 10th, 2018. It's a Sunday. It's in regards to our Boy Scout Eagle project. Again, it's
What's the date?
June 10th.
Well,
He's-
Ian's
he's
been
been
here,
working,
he's
yeah.
off and running, yeah, that should be filed away.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire call, where is it?
Finns Hill. Okay, I've got a letter here. Let's get this filed away. letter dated May 30th, 2018 from
May 30th,
Elaine LaFleur, I guess the Granby Bow and Gun Club again.
that's 2 months ago.
Yeah, we've read through this.
She's requesting information that we are not allowed to discuss.
Correct.
It's
So,
all under the purview of the selectmen at this point. and
Right.
there's-
so I'm gonna say file,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say today's date, at least so we know it's. File it, 7/24. Again, another letter dated May 30th regards to the Granby Bow and Gun Club. I think this was read in earlier. We need to get this organized.
Yeah, I've got this on email. They emailed this to me months ago.
Now let's get it filed into that folder.
Let me see if they have a...
Yeah, let's put this away. Bill, if there's a folder, let's put that, all this in the folder. Let's do it now, get it over with. Keep reading the same thing over and over. These are the agendas for today. Dispose of them at the end of the meeting. You have a file for that, Bill?
Yeah, let me see the paperwork.
It's right there.
Let's see if I can find it here. All right, this is the notice of intent. And this is other stuff.
Yeah, we keep going through the same stuff over and over. Do we have a folder for the Eagle Scout project or no?
For which one?
Eagle Scout, this is off Bachelor.
Yeah, I don't think, let me see if I can find a vanilla folder. Let's start a new one.
I think they're on top of the box.
Are they on the top? Okay. Okay, so we're gonna call this, Easton Street or Bachelor Brook Eagle Scout Project?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay. Aldrich Lake. Okay. Aldrich Lake, Bachelor Brook. What's Ian's last, how do you spell his last name?
Don't know.
I think it's Juan, but I'm not sure.
That was. Oh, no, you're right, it's H-U-A.
H-U-A, okay. Okay, so this is all we have, just this? This is it? Is that it too?
No.
Okay, all right, so put this in there. Put down, I'll put down 6, I'll put down June 2018. I know, that is not the way we file.
They usually do it with the number,
Yeah.
whatever number consecutive
Right.
for this year.
Well, let me see what the last number is. But I'll call it 1805. Call it 1805. File number 1805.
I'll take over, Bill, for a second.
Okay, while Ed is away, we continue forward here. 307 Chicopee Street, that's another one we closed out, didn't we, Amanda? Didn't they negotiate a settlement of some sort?
The two of them negotiated a settlement so that Kestrel Land Trust is no longer in violation.
Okay,
But that means that the violation now is on the property owners.
oh, okay.
It's his responsibility to manage it. I don't know how involved I can be with this one because I do know him from the river.
Yeah,
Which I didn't really know in the beginning, I don't know him too well, but
okay.
I still, he knows my family
Okay,
well enough.
okay, okay.
So I don't know if I can, I'm gonna have to accuse myself in that case.
Ed, we're talking about 307 Chicopee Street, the Kestrel Trust solar project that
Sure.
reportedly was across the property line. Apparently, they still have a wetland violation. Apparently, the violation now is not on the trust, but it's on the homeowner.
So now it's still a violation that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah.
But now Kestrel is out of the,
It seems kind of, Kestrel, easy way out.
well, yeah,
They should have, my understanding of a trust is that you can't dispose of the property once it's in the trust. So changing the boundary lines, I thought was not allowed, but apparently they did it.
yeah,
Who's the trust under? Is it Kestrel or is it us?
it's Kestrel.
So that never was turned over to the Granby Conservation.
I think they offered it to us and we didn't take it.
Sure, that's fine.
Because usually we don't have the manpower to
Right.
maintain
Yeah, you
all
gotta
of it and
maintain it,
monitor
you gotta
them.
monitor every year, which is fine.
Yeah, well, they do monitor every year.
Right.
The only thing is
Obviously.
they couldn't monitor that one because they didn't have access to the property. It was a central parcel and they didn't have any access points. They just acquired a new parcel that abuts the road, so they were able to, when monitoring that new parcel, they were able to get to their older one. And that's when they discovered the violation.
See, now
And it came to us.
that's another case now that I recall, that this may have been filled many, many years ago.
It's pretty recent based on,
Oh, you think it's
Google Earth, yeah.
Oh, it is.
The
okay.
building inspector.
And also, I talked to him, he gave us all the information. He said it was in like 2009,
Oh.
maybe 2009 or 2005. Either way, it was within the life of him being at the house, which isn't entirely.
So the solar panels were in 2009?
I can double check.
That's okay, I mean-
I know it was very, very recent.
No, the panels were put in after '09. Well, again, this is very similar to 7 Phillips Circle, that's why I'm tying this in. And these are, again, projects where there's been some historical filling. You don't know the exact date of the filling.
Well, he told me that he went in and he leveled it out in the beginning.
Oh, he actually admitted that he did the filling.
Because there was water backflowing, because of like the
Yeah.
angle of
Yeah.
the way it was
Yeah.
going to his house.
Oh.
So he had it leveled to, so it wasn't going into his house anymore.
Mhm.
And I don't know if that was kind of when the filling had happened. It may have coincided, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, let's table this one to a later.
Table, that's fine.
Children's First, heard nothing. 98 Cold Hill, what's his name? Dave Collette, I've heard nothing. Phillips Circle, we did the site visit. And I guess we can discuss this now. Wenda and, we all went out. Ed, you were out there.
I did not go.
You did not go, okay. Wenda and Amanda and myself were out there. I think in general, Al Weiss did a decent job of delineating. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree it's a tricky site, but I trust his
Yeah.
expertise on the ground, and
Yeah.
I think it's accurate.
It's fine. The bottom line, again, Ed, is we don't know when that fill was placed. It could have been placed 30 years ago by a different owner, And again, this
It was a
is,
farming,
But-
it was a
this is
small
the old,
farm.
this is the old potential responsible
That's not the
parties.
issue, because Alan Weiss delineated it before. He delineated it before, and he just redelineated it, because there was never anything put in there to mark the lines.
It was never monumented.
Yes.
It was
they-
supposed
they were
to have been
supposed to
monumented when
monument, but they
When
didn't.
Hallahan built that, it was supposed to have been monumented, I believe.
So.
But the thing is, I think Hallahan may have placed that fill.
Or the farmer before.
Right. There's a fellow that, his name was Brown, that Nick Bernier bought the property off of in 11 or 12. And it obviously was the same grade at that point. So again, this is like a PRP project with an oil spill. Who's the responsible party? You can't, if you inherit a property with a malady, you can't really blame the person that bought it. You could argue they didn't do due diligence in picking it up.
No, but he said that he had these issues before, and that's why he got delineated, because he literally had this problem in less than the last 10 years. It's something that happened recently.
You think the filling of the land happened recently?
No, the work that he's been doing other than that.
Oh, I know that.
he's been-
I know that. He had another issue with us back in 13.
No, exactly.
I realize
But
that.
he's gone beyond that line still again. So like that's,
Well, all we can tell him to do is don't go beyond the line again. That's it.
but he's built up the stream and everything. You can even see it looking.
No, I don't think he moved earth in. I don't think there's any earth fill. But he did cut a lot of trees down. There's no doubt about that. He cut a bunch of trees down in the wetland. What can we do?
What's the solution then?
Well, one solution is we could make them plant new trees. Or supplemental trees, which is kind of a penalty, which is absurd, really, because you know how rapid the vegetation grows out there. It's amazing.
Well, if you leave it alone,
The suckers come up. Yeah, it's like at the golf course. They cut the place down. It comes back in 3 months.
well, I would prefer to.
I think we should
discuss
have.
this
I think it should be monumented. I think that's the first thing. Have a monument.
The wetland boundary.
Oh yeah, have a
With
monument
what,
the
permanent
flags.
markers?
Yep. 6-inch sonotubes or 4-inch sonotubes, whatever you want to
Valley
do.
columns.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't have a problem with
At
that.
least that way, at a later date, we don't have to go through this delineation business.
So you would delineate it 1 foot, 2 feet outside the wetland? Because you can't be digging in the wetland without an NOI. So you push it out 4 feet, 5 feet from the wetland and say that's it?
As far as the markers,
Yeah.
I didn't put the markers right in the wetland boundary. It's like doing test pits or borings. It's essentially a survey. It's a survey device.
Pretty sure Mark Stinson was involved in this, and he even sent us
I
images
remember
of
that,
the-
I remember that, he did.
Why don't we just table
I'm-
this till we have other commissioners here?
Yeah.
We can
All
talk.
right, that's fine, we can do that.
I think this will be
Needs to be
dealing with
addressed.
this in the fall because.
Because I actually asked Nick to come in tonight, he's obviously not here, so we'll continue that one as well.
Well, it's 7:30 right now, so.
Yeah.
7:30.
But we gotta figure out how we're gonna do that.
Because like, it's not just that, it's also a conservation restriction that's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be, and I don't know the details of who is responsible for that conservation restriction,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it's either the town or us, and it is a conserved area that should not have been touched ever.
Right.
So,
It's in the deeds.
it's an actual, like,
Right.
legitimate thing,
Right,
It's on the plan, it's on the deed.
yeah.
So, okay, why don't we go to this public hearing, 7:30? Okay, I have a continuation of Art requesting determination of applicability filed by Department of Conservation and Recreation to see whether the work depicted on plans referenced the subject of the Wetlands Protection Act with regards to property located on Green Meadow Lane in the town of Granby. I don't see anybody here from the Department of Conservation and Recreation,
move to continue.
so there's a motion on the table to continue.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, next one.
Next one's at 7:45, that's
They're
PO.
not, they're not gonna show up.
So, I've got a NOI for Mike Pio Development. You want to continue that? I
Yes.
have not heard anything with respect to the 401 water quality permit.
Yeah, again, I
You're
talked to Fowlis about 3 months ago, and DEP's handling that.
So until they get that approved, they can't come forward with
That's
any other
correct.
permits.
That's correct, so I move we continue this.
So, the other one we have here, the DCR Forge Pond, you guys talked about that.
Yeah, Amanda's gonna talk to Dory Gollin, and Amanda is taking a look at
Sure.
potential funding for the decommissioning of the dam. Dory wants to go the other way, she wants to do the repair of the dam, so if they can both raise some funds for either one or another project.
Yeah, I think if you repair the dam, you also really gotta look at dredging it at that point too.
Well,
behind it.
it's only money,
I know.
if they can raise $2 million, terrific.
And then it's the long-term management.
Maintenance.
Right, and then you got, and you,
Because it
that's
would
right.
probably have, it's not gonna meet current standards for, like, stormwater flows. So it's gonna have to be severely upgraded and like retrofitted, and
Yeah,
that's.
Well, let's keep an open mind, we'll try to do whatever we can. I mean, realistically, I understand that's probably what's gonna have to happen is
Yeah,
all.
well, like one way or the other, you know, it's either gonna have to be taken
Yeah,
out or it's gonna have to
yeah.
be like really upgraded.
right. So
And-
again,
and-
bottom line, from a financial point of view, I think the decommissioning, if we can get state funds to assist.
And the other thing with Forge
Economical
Pond, we had
solution.
talked earlier about the funding of the Phase 1 study
Yeah.
needs to be paid by the town other than the Conservation Commission. Our
Yes.
funds are not allowed to be
Correct.
paid for studies.
Yeah.
So, can you, somehow, I've got a note here.
And I forwarded the email to everyone.
Yeah, let's get back on that, because even though it's not our responsibility to pay for it, we need to make sure that the selectmen realize that this needs to be done on a 6-month basis, and they need to have this continued until a Phase 2 study or some kind of repairs or decommissioning. All right, continuing on with 8 o'clock, ZBA, just to give you a quick notice for next meeting, August 14th, we have an RDA filed by Jody Powers Coakley Corp. to see whether the work depicted on plans reference subject to Wetlands Protection Act for property located at 131 Burnett Road. I'm not sure where this is. I don't see any plans in here. I'm not sure if we're missing something.
Who's the owner?
Let's see. We have an applicant of Jody Powers, Coakley Corp., Lexington Ave, Holyoke, Mass., Amherst Environmental Service, Bob Stover. Work depicted on plans referenced,
Well, Bob usually does septic designs, must be a septic design.
Septic system repair.
Yeah, there it is, which we don't have.
I
a
don't have
copy of.
that.
I'll send him an email. I'll send him an email right now, actually.
Yeah, we should have that in this pile here, but I don't see it. So, we are missing a septic plan.
Okay. Let's try it. Robert Stover, see if he's on my list.
No. So that's,
S-T-O.
here's your email right here, Bill.
Oh, okay. Oh, Bob, okay. Yep.
Shoot him an email just asking for a copy of the
I got it.
septic repair plan.
Yep.
News and announcements.
Hey, Bob.
Nothing. Site visits to be scheduled. I don't have anything before. Nothing.
Nothing that I'm aware of.
This is 131 Burnett.
I can also fill you guys in on the site visit at 59 Fair Hill.
Oh,
The
yeah.
building inspector went out and they thought there might be some wetland issues.
Yeah,
that they
that's over
should
here.
address.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is now
yeah.
a good time?
Yeah, let's wait. He's almost done right now.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, that's right here. There's a letter.
Okay, it's out to Bob. Okay.
The letter
Did you
from
take
the building
pictures?
inspector.
Just some photos?
Oh, we did not take pictures. It was a kind of just seeing if there's actually something that would end up coming to us. Kind of just, we didn't have a scheduled site visit. We just had like a house knock on the door and we're like, hey, we heard we might have something. Do you mind if we come and look? And he showed us around.
Oh, Mr. Briggs did this.
July 10th, we read it. So go ahead.
Really?
Well,
Oh.
that's when
oh,
the
you
building
did that.
inspector sent
Oh, yeah,
it.
I wasn't. Yeah. Okay, so we went out, he took us down, showed us all this stuff. This is kind of, so at least you guys
Yep.
can see. That is the property. There is a stream going all the way down here. His property ends like up here and there. That has always been a grass paddock. And so he just had it, I think they put up a fence and like improved it a little bit, but they didn't actually cut any trees or do anything that way. And then they also, they added crushed stone and like a soft sand for showing. It's basically what they have to do to make it a usable arena on this lower end. And it's kind of terraced, basically the way the property is. So it's higher and then a lower level and then an even lower level. And when they first put it in, the person who did the work, I guess he was unaware of the wetland stuff, and they ended up putting some rocks around the whole area to prevent all the sand from washing down the hill. So they have like a rocky riprap sort of area around the whole thing. So it's pretty stable now, but previously in the storms, some sediment has washed down into here. And down there is a wet spot, and it looks like it's a hydraulic connection. So it's probably gonna be some sort of a wetland thing. I told him that he should we told him that he should come and see us. He asked if he could start looking for a consultant, because obviously that would be the ideal scenario, so they can actually dig and see.
Clean it out.
Well, yes, but so they can make sure that he
Where's
does
the
the
grade?
right extent.
Right.
And I told him, like, it's fine if he gets a consultant, just don't try and do it yourself.
Amanda, how steep was the grade?
For the hill or in the wetland area?
No, for the hill leading down to the wetland area. Was it 10 feet and 100, 5 feet and 100, 2 feet and 100? What percent slope was it roughly?
Probably 5 or 8%.
It
I've
wasn't
been
a
on that
lot, I
property.
know that, and also
That's Ed Parker's
there's
old
kind of like a
property.
path already right
Well,
here.
actually-
It was just the path was torn up from the,
Actually, we can do the elevations. Oh, your elevation isn't work on this.
this is just on
Yeah, see,
on
we-
Earthcraft. But I just wanted to like see if there had been any significant
Yeah.
change. And it looks exactly the same in terms of all the trees and everything.
Yeah, usually the elevation works on Google Earth.
Yeah, it's on the lower right corner, but
Yeah,
it's,
but for
it
some
could be
reason
shut
it's reading
off.
zero. Yeah, it's reading zero for some reason.
just go to Mass GIS.
Yeah,
And
hold on.
turn
I
on the,
actually have Mass.js open also.
turn on the topo layer.
Okay, yeah, go to that. Whoops.
It's not a steep slope.
Oh, yeah, that's the big muddy brook that's
Meters?
behind my house. Oh, okay, good, thank you.
Kind of helps. It doesn't give the lines for some reason, but it has the numbers. So yeah, it's kind of like an upper area, lower
Yeah,
area.
okay.
The buildings were already there.
Yeah.
They added some lights and stuff, which are violations based on heights and stuff for
Yeah.
other things. But in terms of us, the only issue is, like, there's obviously some drainage stuff.
So this is the dwelling unit, and these are the two barns?
Yep, and I think they put an additional one up here, but that was also permitted. And again, it's a pretty good distance from
Okay.
actual wetlands. The only concern is in these trees. I don't know, like, we didn't bring the auger or anything, because it's
Right,
kind of
yeah,
an
no,
informal
yeah,
kind of,
no,
let's
that's
see if
fine.
there's anything you should be concerned about.
Was there evidence of silt having entered this area?
Yeah, some sand and stuff from
Oh.
when the construction guy had come
Okay,
in, and it hadn't
okay.
been properly
Okay.
managed, and it still hasn't restabilized since the
Mhm.
construction went in. But I think he was kind of just waiting to see what
Okay.
is gonna happen.
Should put a
with
silt
everything.
fence up at least for,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would probably be good, but at this point, it is all kind of starting to stabilize. So it's more a matter
Yes.
of once he
so it's
gets
already
the person-
stabilized.
It's stabilizing at this point,
All
or initially.
All right, I'll
There
put
had
down,
been an
right.
issue.
Okay.
put down site
But I-
visit may be required.
Yeah, he's gonna contact us when he
Okay.
finds a person.
Very
and-
good.
Give them a few weeks on that.
Yeah.
So
I can always,
by September, if we don't hear from them, we'll shoot them a letter.
yeah, I can also just get his email information from Kathy and
Okay.
just contact him, see if he's found someone, and if he's
Yeah.
gonna come in, I'll tell him our next meeting.
Sounds like a pretty little
Yeah.
project that's
Yeah, exactly.
easy, hopefully.
Okay.
No
What
other
else?
business?
What else? That's the old,
That's old, no, well, that's
That's old business.
new. We're on old business, anything?
yeah, that's about it, I think. What's this, Ed? This solar project that's on hold?
This other one was
Yeah.
this letter here, this is the 0 Kendall Street, this is the site plan.
That's Hat's project.
Yeah, we said this project will need to file with conservation, we did it on 7/10.
Right.
Kendall Street, there are some isolated wetlands that appear to be on top.
Maybe I should make that, I'll put that
We
in for.
did make a note on the plan here that they do need to file,
All right, I'll put that in the
or need to come
minutes here.
for us at least. They have to come to us for a building permit anyways,
Yeah.
so.
Wait, which one is Kendall Street?
It's just south of Dufresne's on the hill.
I don't know anything about that project.
I'm gonna put that
It's
down right now.
relatively new.
I'll put down 0
It's
Kendall
proposed.
Street. We'll need to file for solar project. For large-scale solar project. Okay.
That was for a, special permit? Yeah, with the planning board. So the planning board sent out a letter to the Highway Department, Conservation Commission, Building Inspector, Board of Health, Fire Department, Police. So the planning board's asking for any comments, your review and comments, and we made a comment back to them. This project will need to file with Concom. I think it's either gonna be an RDA or an NOI or something, at minimum. Well, actually, at bare minimum would be a building permit. But I don't particularly see that as being a building permit sign off. I don't think so, I could be wrong.
That's gonna be, that's a stormwater management problem. That's like,
I would,
it's very, very steep.
yeah, I don't know if the planning board is doing that or if we're gonna be doing that.
We're obliged to do it. They don't,
Well, I understand.
Well, luckily, I am a stormwater specialist.
that's right. Amanda
So,
can handle it.
I can help.
That site
big
was
was it?
wooded, I think.
That's the problem. They're gonna have to cut mucho trees on that
Well,
property.
you change the characteristics of the
Oh,
land.
yeah, your CN.
That's why I'm curious, what is
Your CN goes way up,
the size of the property?
many acres.
Let's see.
Acres.
It's like 30 acres, isn't it?
They don't tell me the size, but they say it's a
Huge.
6,000,
6 megawatts.
yeah.
It's a big project.
Big.
Why does this not tell me?
Again, you can go on Mass GIS and grab that a lot very easily.
So we should be seeing something from them at least in the near future, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we should probably start a folder for this. It is funny, we should probably have a filing drawer dedicated strictly for solar projects.
Yeah, seriously. This one.
Okay, it's 45 after
Make
the
a
hour.
motion to adjourn?
I move we
Oh,
adjourn.
I also
sorry.
have one more thing. I went to the DCR forest cutting training for commissioners.
Yes.
And I was very curious to find out why we did not know about like the ACOP and stuff happening when all the bone gun stuff was happening. Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea about that until after the fact. The reason is because forest cutting plans are an agreement between DEP and DCR with the landowner. So it is an agreement between them. Granby Concom isn't really involved.
That's
They give you the
correct.
heads up.
That's
You have
right.
10 days to respond if you think there's a significant area or you're concerned they might miss.
Did you
runoff
see the-
rules.
did you see the
Then
new
you can
regulation?
comment within 10 days.
The new regulation just came out.
No, I know, that was part of
Yeah.
it, but, if they're, the forester involved, the regional forester or DCR area, he goes out, he checks it out initially, reviews the plans, makes sure that what he sees on the ground is what is displayed on the plans, proves it, then he goes back out at the end, confirms that it's all correct, that they cut in the right spots, all that good stuff. And then if there's any sort of issue or a violation, they don't go to the commission, they go to DEP. The Concom is never involved. They, like,
Good.
we're not a part of it.
That's good to know.
So that's
that
why
For bow and gun.
we didn't know.
Very
And
good.
I think that that should be on the record
Very
because
good, very
But
good.
I was
That's
very
be-
concerned about that.
That's really been the protocol or the way it's always been done from what I
Exactly.
remember.
Isn't it a
Yep.
little bit
That-
different now?
that's
with the-
exactly how it
Is that
is.
what the new regulation says?
No, the new regulation basically just encourages commissioners to use their 10 days to
Okay.
get out there.
But it's
at the
almost
same time,
impossible
it's-
to do it in 10 days.
Yeah, and also because it's often like private property and stuff like that, you have to try and find a time to get out there with them. And as a commission, it's a lot harder to know practices. There's a lot of certain specifics and nitty gritty things with the practices that foresters know
Management.
versus,
yeah.
like the methods they use, there are different types of vehicles that cause more damage or less damage. And I think that some of the issues may have come from the use of old dated machinery with the initial plans, because that's where all of the original erosion came from. Like, you know, those stripes of like, just like dirt channels. Those are the roads used by a certain type of logging vehicle that just like drags everything. So it rips up the ground
skidders.
and then,
They're
yeah,
skidders.
I think it was the skidders. And now they have like forders or something like that, which they load them on top and
They-
it causes a lot less destruction. But there's also BMPs after the fact that you would put on sloped things, like digging a hole and putting a log in it and then putting the dirt back on top, or like digging a trench.
Oh, so you,
Level
they use,
spread.
they
So
use the
like you
log, the log is like a waddle, like it's a
Level
hard
spread.
waddle.
Well,
Or a
yeah,
level
kind of like
spreader.
a combination of the
That's
two,
funny,
and it
that's
kind
funny.
of, it's like a speed bump, so it slows
That's
it down,
right.
allows some
That's
infiltration.
pretty interesting.
And
But
kind
again,
of keeps
all-
it from just eroding away. But again, that would be all under the purview of the foresters, the,
DEP and the foresters.
So essentially,
Yes.
our skill set isn't suited for.
exactly,
review
and
of
even
that.
reviewing the plans, I think
Yeah.
that, I'm hoping I can get in touch with, David Cameron, and he can actually walk me through it, because I think they can look at the plans and like see the change in the property and like the way it is, and be able to assess if it's the club's impacts, or if it's the forest cutters, the person who had been contracted to do it, his impacts. So
They
they'll be
talk
able to kind
about-
of tell that.
So they talk about forest cutting plans being used to circumvent filing with commissions, because a lot of times a developer may go in and just clear cut something
Yeah.
under forest cutting management, whereas if he were to present it as a development project, he
Yes.
may not be allowed to do that.
But the thing is, they didn't actually cut in any places where they're planning to expand their range.
Okay.
So that's not a
That's
violation.
not an
And
issue.
also, they're under 61B, which is, it's managing it for recreation and wildlife. And that was the point of the cutting. So they clear cut in a couple areas, but they're in the far back areas. It's not in the center where their actual range is.
So this was DCR Forest Cutting Workshop, is that what that
Yes.
was called? Okay, good, that's good information, particularly for bow and gun project.
That was why I really wanted to go.
Excellent,
Window went as
excellent.
well.
Yeah, I know. Good,
But
very
it was
good.
also good to see a lot of the different things because it shows some ideas for kind of.
Did you get
to look into
any
the future.
handouts or any,
I do have a few pamphlets at
PowerPoints?
home with like BMPs and stuff like that.
Okay.
but, yeah.
good, good.
Yeah, I think we just stay the course and any forest cutting plans that come before us, unless it's really radical where they're cutting stuff in like Bachelor Brook,
Yeah,
you know, we probably
exactly. Again,
keep
we didn't
away
really
from
have
the
any reason
DCR.
to get involved with this originally.
The other problem
Now we do, but
is they can interpret their own plan because they did the walk around and drew their sketch. If you and I go out there,
Oh, that,
well, you know, being a surveyor, you can really appreciate, you got tree cover, you don't know where the property lines are, they're humongous parcels, you don't know where you are on the site, you don't know.
I think the forest cutting
Can't use
plans.
well,
GCR
the
and
prudent thing to do
forestry.
is to try and go out with your regional forester.
Right.
So like if you can get the time in those 10 days from when it's first submitted to go out with the regional forester who reviews it prior to the like.
But like you said,
improvement.
forest management plan is really a different agenda than a conservation plan.
It is.
They know what trees they want
And
to
we
thin
really,
out.
we don't have a whole lot of say, it's more like we can go out there and kind of see if we think they might be missing a spot, or maybe there's a lot of vernal pools and we like that area and want to save vernal pools. We
Try to
can-
preserve it.
You know, you can kind of like, you can, we have the authority to get a site visit, but we still only have those 10 days, and after that.
And the problem is when we receive it, is it 10 days starting from the day we receive
Yes.
it? So
Yep.
we may not have a meeting
Yep,
and the 10 days may already expire.
exactly. It's 10 business days, but still, it's
There's
10
times
day
that,
rule.
yeah.
Good.
And there's no reason for them to postpone.
So if they filed it tomorrow and we don't meet for 14 days out,
Yeah, then they
it's-
could already have been out cutting or finished cutting, depending on the size of the project.
okay.
But,
Well
and
done, well
Also,
done.
other important things are leaving all the stuff after the cutting. So instead
Slash.
of having, yeah, leaving all the slash so that it can kind of just, you know, let the
Break down,
wildlife do
of
its
course,
thing.
right, the rabbits hang out there, that's what I do.
Turtles.
And like the road that we had, they had left their old corduroy road, leaving that in a wetland and all of that is all fine, because I asked them specifically about that. Apparently it has no issues,
Except someone we know.
because it's all just wood, so it's gonna just break down, it's gonna leave the stabilized, ripping it all out could end up doing more damage than just leaving it to break down naturally, things like that.
Yeah, excellent.
They
Well,
just want it
well-
out of the approach of the stream, so like the.
So it has flow. Yeah,
Yes.
continue the flow.
Well done, Amanda, well
Nice.
done.
Thank you
Okay,
for- thanks for going
7:52, I
to that.
move, we adjourn at 7:52.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye, good, well done.